Whispers are circulating within the royal circle about an unprecedented event. Princess Anne, the steadfast Princess Royal, has released 3 mysterious videos recorded by Queen Elizabeth II before her death on September 8, 2022. But these are no ordinary videos. They contain the Queen's final words to her family, messages crafted with the wisdom of a monarch who reigned for 70 years. But it was what she said about Princess Catherine, Princess of Wales, that left King Charles, Prince William, and the entire royal family deeply impacted. An unprecedented privilege, never before granted in the history of the monarchy, was entrusted to Catherine in these recordings. What could it be? And why is this shaking the foundations of the monarchy itself? Stay with us as we unravel this extraordinary story. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. The royal family is no stranger to secrets, but this one feels different. This isn't about scandal or conflict. It's about love, legacy, and a vision for the future that Queen Elizabeth entrusted to her most faithful confidant, her daughter, Princess Anne. Known for her direct demeanor and unwavering loyalty, Anne has always been the pillar of the royal family. So when she decided to release these videos, it wasn't a decision taken lightly. Sources close to the palace say Anne agonized over the right timing, waiting for a time when the family and the world could truly grasp the weight of her mother's words. Recorded in the tranquility of Balmoral Castle in the summer of 2022, the videos capture Elizabeth at her most reflective, her voice firm yet softened by the knowledge that her time was coming to an end. For King Charles, Prince William, and Princess Catherine, these messages were deeply personal. But it's the Queen's words about Catherine that have sparked a veritable wave of speculation. Royal experts are in an uproar. What did Elizabeth say that might shock a family accustomed to centuries of tradition? Was it a title, a role, or something even deeper? As we delve into this story, let's start with the woman at the center of it all, Princess Anne, and why she became the guardian of her mother's final will. There's something about Princess Anne that commands respect. Perhaps it's her tireless work ethic, participating in hundreds of official engagements each year, even at age 75. Or perhaps it's her refusal to bow to public scrutiny. The Princess Royal, born on August 15, 1950, has always been her mother's mirror, duty-bound, pragmatic, and fiercely protective of the monarchy's legacy. So it's no surprise that Queen Elizabeth chose her only daughter to guard these precious videos. But what makes this moment so extraordinary is the way Anne chose to reveal them, not with fanfare, but with discretion and firmness, as if honoring a sacred promise. Insiders say the videos were recorded over several nights in the private study at Balmoral, a room permeated by the scent of old books and the crackling of the fireplace. Elizabeth, then 96, knew her health was deteriorating. She wanted to leave something tangible for her family, not just a will or a letter, but her voice, her heart. Anne was there not only as a daughter but as a witness, ensuring the recordings were preserved with the utmost care. She was her mother's confidant in her final months. A source close to the family revealed that the Queen trusted her to know the right time to share these messages. The decision to release the videos in 2025 came after months of reflection. With King Charles undergoing cancer treatment and the monarchy facing new challenges, Anne felt the family needed her mother's wisdom more than ever. The first video was shown privately to Charles, William, and Catherine at Sandringham in early June, shortly before Trooping the Colour. Witnesses describe a room charged with emotion. Charles clutching the arms of his chair, William's eyes welling up, and Catherine, ever composed, visibly moved. But it was the third video, addressed specifically to Catherine, that changed everything. Let's explore what made these messages so powerful and why they are rewriting royal history. Queen Elizabeth II was a master of words, her speeches intertwining tradition and hope. But these videos were different. They were raw, unscripted, and deeply personal. In the first, She spoke to King Charles, her eldest son and successor. She advised him to trust both his heart and duty, shared a palace insider. She reminded him that the crown is heavy, but love for the people makes it bearable. For Charles, who often faced criticism for his more modern vision of the monarchy, these words were a balm, proof that his mother believed in him, even in her final days. The second video was for Prince William, the heir apparent. Elizabeth's message was both tender and firm, encouraging him to balance his role as a father with his future as king. She spoke about her children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, and said they would be her greatest legacy. The source revealed that William, who often spoke of his grandmother's influence on his life, was visibly moved, the pride of being a father mingling with the weight of his destiny. But it was the third video that took the room's breath away. Addressed to Princess Catherine, the video contained a revelation so profound that it's being called an unprecedented privilege. What did the Queen say? According to sources, Elizabeth praised Catherine's grace, resilience, and ability to connect with the public in a way reminiscent of her own early years as Queen. But then came the bombshell. Elizabeth appointed Catherine as guardian of a new royal initiative, something she had envisioned but never actually launched. A global foundation focused on mental health and environmental sustainability, to be led by Catherine on the Queen's behalf. This wasn't just a project. It was a mantle, a role that elevates Catherine beyond her current duties as Princess of Wales. No consort had ever received such a direct mandate from a reigning monarch. One royal historian commented, "It's an unprecedented privilege." Let's understand why this moment shook the royal family. To understand why this privilege so shocked the royals, we must look at Catherine's own trajectory. Born Catherine Middleton on January 9, 1982, she entered the royal family as a commoner when she married Prince William on April 29, 2011. Over the years, she earned public admiration for her elegance, her charitable work, and her ability to handle the spotlight while raising 3 children. But not even her greatest admirers could have predicted this. Queen Elizabeth's decision to entrust Catherine with the leadership of a global foundation is not just a vote of confidence. It is a redefinition of what it means to be a royal consort. The foundation, provisionally called the Elizabeth II Legacy Fund, would unite Catherine's passion for mental health, evident in her work with the Heads Together campaign, and her commitment to environmental causes, such as the Earthshot Prize, which she supports alongside William. Elizabeth's vision was bold, to create a platform that would unite the Commonwealth nations to tackle 2 of the greatest global challenges. By naming Catherine as guardian of this legacy, the Queen effectively conferred upon her a role with influence comparable to that of a reigning monarch. It's Elizabeth passing the torch. A source close to the Queen said she saw in Catherine someone capable of carrying her values forward. For King Charles, the revelation was bittersweet. A decades-long champion of environmental causes, he saw his mother choose Catherine to lead this initiative. Sources say he is proud but surprised, as the decision reinforces Catherine's growing influence. For William, it was a moment of awe. He always knew Catherine was special, said a friend of the couple, but to see her anointed by her grandmother in this way, it touched him deeply. Catherine, reportedly, was speechless. Her composure gave way to tears as the Queen's words sank in. Why did Elizabeth choose Catherine? Let's explore the clues to this choice throughout their relationship. The connection between Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Catherine was like a silent symphony, played in exchanged glances, shared laughter, and unspoken understandings. From their first meeting in 2008, when Catherine was still Kate Middleton, Prince William's college sweetheart, Elizabeth saw in her a spark, a resilience that echoed her own journey as a young queen thrust abruptly into a world of expectations. That initial encounter, at a private dinner in Windsor, was discreet but decisive. Catherine's nervous bow and Elizabeth's warm smile set the tone for a relationship that would grow into one of the monarchy's most moving partnerships. She saw herself in Kate, recalled a former aide. Not just the poise, but the heart. Someone capable of weathering the storm and still shining. Over the years, their bond deepened, in both grand and intimate moments. Joint engagements, like their 2011 visit to Nottingham or their 2019 event in King's Lynn, revealed the ease between the two. In Nottingham, Catherine's deference in following the Queen's lead was rewarded with a nod of approval, a silent acknowledgement of her growing confidence. In King's Lynn, a shared laugh over a child's bold question about corgis lit up the crowd, revealing a warmth rarely seen in Elizabeth's public demeanor. These moments weren't just photo ops. They were glimpses of a genuine connection, grounded in mutual respect and a shared sense of duty. But their private moments told an even richer story. At Sandringham, over cups of Earl Grey tea in the cozy drawing room, Elizabeth shared stories from her early years as queen, her voice softening as she spoke of balancing motherhood and monarchy. Catherine, ever attentive, absorbed each lesson. Her questions were thoughtful, and her admiration was evident. In return, the Queen was captivated by Catherine's stories about George, Charlotte, and Louis, whose antics reminded her of Charles and Anne when they were young. "Those teas were sacred," said the aide. "No cameras, no acting, just two women who understood each other." Elizabeth also admired Catherine's modern touch, her passion for photography, her direct involvement in raising her children, her ability to make royalty more accessible. During a Buckingham Palace garden party in 2017, the Queen watched Catherine crouch down to chat with a shy teenager, her tenderness disarming the crowd. Later, Elizabeth commented to an aide, "She has a gift for making people feel seen." This gift, combined with Catherine's resilience, especially during her cancer diagnosis in 2024, solidified Elizabeth's confidence. In her final months at Balmoral, the Queen began to request Catherine's presence more frequently. Walks across the heather-covered moors became a silent ritual. With the children running ahead, Elizabeth offered gentle counsel, not as queen, but as a grandmotherly figure, encouraging Catherine to stay true to what truly matters. This bond explains why Elizabeth chose Catherine for the unprecedented role of guardian of the Elizabeth II Legacy Fund. It wasn't just a matter of trust, it was a matter of vision. Elizabeth saw in Catherine a bridge between the monarchy's legendary past and its dynamic future. Someone capable of carrying its values, service, compassion, resilience, into a new era. Their relationship, built on countless small moments, was a testament to Elizabeth's belief that Catherine was more than a consort. She was a foundation. As she enters this new chapter, Catherine carries not only the Queen's mandate, but the weight of a bond that transformed her forever. Catherine's journey, from Berkshire girl to global icon, is a tapestry of quiet triumphs, each thread woven with resilience and grace. Born Catherine Middleton on January 9, 1982, she entered the royal spotlight as a commoner, marrying Prince William on April 29, 2011. The early years were a true trial by fire, every outfit, every gesture scrutinized by a world eager to judge. Yet Catherine forged her own path, embracing causes like early childhood development and mental health. Her 2016 speech to the Heads Together campaign, where she shared the universal struggles of motherhood, marked a turning point. "She's not just a princess, she's a voice," said one royal observer, capturing her ability to humanize royalty. Her cancer diagnosis in 2024 was a seismic shift. In a moving and candid video, Catherine spoke about her treatment, her vulnerability resonating globally. "It was her Diana moment," commented a source close to the palace, referring to the late Princess of Wales's ability to connect with the public through honesty. Her return to public life in 2025, during the Trooping the Color, the VE Day celebrations, and a moving visit to a children's hospice, revealed a transformed woman. She wasn't just surviving, she was flourishing. Her presence radiated a quiet strength that seemed to anticipate the Queen's tenure. Behind the scenes, this transformation was shaped by smaller moments, almost invisible to the public eye. Friends recall her late-night calls during her illness, seeking advice not as a royal figure, but as a worried mother to George, Charlotte, and Louis. These conversations kept her grounded, reminding her of what was at stake beyond the palace walls. Her bond with her children, visible in tender moments like styling Charlotte's hair at Wimbledon or laughing with Louis during a polo match, became her foundation. She draws strength from them. A close friend shared, "They are her reason." These experiences prepared Catherine for the Elizabeth II Legacy Fund. Sources close to her say she is already assembling a team, drawing on her experience at the Royal Foundation to blend pragmatism and vision. Low-key meetings at Kensington Palace, often over tea, have served as a stage for her to outline plans for mental health programs and environmental projects across the Commonwealth. She is meticulous but welcoming. A colleague commented, "It's like seeing a teacher and a leader all in one." William has been her steadfast partner, their bond evident in the glances they exchanged at Royal Ascot or their hand-in-hand strolls around Sandringham. The Queen's words strengthened that bond, a reminder of their shared purpose. "They are a team," a source said. "William knows this is Catherine's moment, and he is her biggest cheerleader." By taking on this unprecedented role, Catherine is not only carrying on Elizabeth's legacy, she is forging a new path for the monarchy, rooted in empathy and action. Queen Elizabeth's final words, delivered by the steady hand of Princess Anne, lit a spark that is reshaping the monarchy's future. These mysterious videos, revealed in the summer of 2025, are more than family heirlooms. They are a blueprint for a new royal era. At the center of this transformation is Princess Catherine, whose unprecedented role as guardian of the Elizabeth II Legacy Fund marks her as a global force. This isn't just a title. It's a mandate to lead, innovate, and bring the Queen's values to a world thirsting for connection. For King Charles, it's a gentle nudge to embrace change without losing his connection to tradition. For Prince William, it's a moment of quiet pride, the kind that runs deep in the veins of those born into legacy. Watching his wife, Catherine, confidently move toward a destiny that Queen Elizabeth II herself envisioned, he recognizes history being shaped not by decree, but by quiet force. Catherine's accession isn't just ceremonial, it's transformative. Her evolving role redefines what it means to be a royal consort in the 21st century. No longer just an ornament to the crown, but an active architect of its future. At the center of this transformation is the Legacy Fund, a massive initiative slated to launch in 2026, whose ambitions are as vast as the Commonwealth itself. Created to address two of the most pressing global issues, mental health and environmental sustainability, the fund is a bold fusion of compassion and pragmatism. It reflects Catherine's personal values, refined over years of advocacy, and echoes Queen Elizabeth's long-standing vision of service through connection and stability. In this endeavor, Catherine becomes more than a symbol. She is a force for unity. Picture her, at a lectern in Nairobi or sitting cross-legged among students in a Sydney classroom. Her presence is serene, empathetic, and unwavering. She listens attentively, speaks with intention. She builds bridges between nations not through protocol, but through authenticity. This is no ceremonial ribbon-cutting tour. It's diplomacy conducted with grace, resilience, and humility, and the eyes of the world are watching. The fact that she's standing there is, in itself, a testament to her strength. Emerging from the shadow of her cancer diagnosis in 2024, Catherine emerged not weakened, but honed, like an iron passed through the fire. Her return to public life, marked by her triumphant appearance at Trooping the Colour in June 2025, was a moment of collective relief for the nation. Her smile on the balcony of Buckingham Palace wasn't just an image, It was a signal, a declaration. She didn't just return, she soared. Observers noticed. Royal commentators didn't whisper. They marveled. This is no ordinary princess. There was a firmness in the way she stood, not behind but alongside King Charles and Prince William. Not as a supporting actor, but as a sovereign partner. History was no longer something she merely held. It became something she helped write. The images of that day, the spontaneous exchanges, the intimate gestures, remain enshrined in the family's private archives. The full content of their words is known only to those within the palace walls. But the energy was palpable, the effects immediate. King Charles, dealing with his own health challenges with characteristic stoicism, found a new purpose. His recent speeches, now imbued with emotional resonance, reflect a man shaped by personal vulnerability and his maternal heritage. "Love the people," his mother once told him. And now, that refrain echoes in every public address. Prince William, always the steadfast heir, has in recent months demonstrated a new intensity. He embraced his role with even greater depth, not only as future king, but as Catherine's greatest advocate. His body language at Royal Ascot, the shared gaze, the silent hand on hers, said more than any protocol could express. It spoke of a bond not just romantic, but strategic, familial, and enduring. Together, William and Catherine represent a monarchy not frozen in tradition, but adapting, expanding, and finding purpose in modern service. In them, the House of Windsor finds continuity, not just through pomp, but through principle, compassion, and a shared resolve. The legacy they inherit is vast, but the one they will leave behind may be even greater. Princess Anne, often called the silent heroine of the monarchy, remains somewhat out of the spotlight, her steady, resolute figure watching the rise of the new generation with the same steady strength that once defined her mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Anne never sought attention, but her quiet dedication has long been the backbone of the royal family. And now, with the monarchy under renewed scrutiny and its global relevance questioned, she is taking a rare and calculated step, releasing selected videos from the royal archive. These aren't just records of ceremonial events, they are windows into a legacy. Intimate moments of unity between Catherine, Charles, and William, a triumvirate shaped not by ambition, but by a common purpose. By sharing these fragments now, Anne reminds the world that the true power of the crown lies not in spectacle, but in continuity, service, and solidarity. For audiences, especially younger ones, Catherine's ascension isn't just history unfolding, it's a cultural milestone. She's been affectionately called the People's Princess 2.0 on social media, an intentional reference to Diana's enduring legacy. But the way Catherine connects with people is unique, not forged in tragedy, but in resilience, in grace under pressure, in the restrained warmth that has come to define her public image. She's not just in the monarchy, she's transforming it. And her impact is spreading. The Legacy Fund, scheduled to launch in 2026, will reach beyond the palace walls. It's more than a royal initiative, it's a movement. A mother in rural Canada may find hope and healing through the fund's mental health support programs, receiving help that once seemed unattainable. A school child in Barbados, planting saplings as part of a new Commonwealth sustainability project, may never meet Catherine, but will feel her influence in the shade of these trees. These are not grand gestures. They are Elizabethan in the truest sense, small acts of service that add up to greatness. Queen Elizabeth understood that empires are not built in a day, nor are they sustained by power alone. They are maintained by constancy, humility, and compassion. Catherine, now following in these footsteps, is not just wearing the mantle, she is redefining what it means. What does this represent for the future of the monarchy? A true turning point, from hierarchy to humanity, from closed tradition to global connection. In Catherine, we witness the rise of a consort born outside the aristocracy, but welcomed with the weight and reverence of a queen's silent blessing. A commoner who became royalty, and who leads not by lineage, but by example. And for her children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, this evolution will be crucial. They are growing up in a monarchy that values service over ceremony, that encounters the world not from a throne, but from classrooms, community gardens, crisis centers, and more. Their mother is paving the way. Of course, the future is not without risk. Global instability, the pressures of digital scrutiny, and continued skepticism about the monarchy's relevance cast long shadows. But if Trooping the Color 2025 proved anything, it's that the core royal family, Catherine, Charles, and William, is not fractured. It is united, perhaps more deeply than ever, by a shared belief in the late Queen's motto, "To serve is to reign." The image of the three of them on the balcony that day, the wind rustling the flags, the crowd's applause rising like waves, and Catherine's smile radiant with purpose, will live on. It wasn't just a moment. It was a statement. The monarchy isn't just surviving, it's evolving. And we ask you, what moved you most about this royal rebirth? Was it Catherine's steadfast courage, William's unwavering support, or Charles's quiet transformation into a seasoned statesman guided by memory and mission? We invite you to share your reflections below. Your voice, like theirs, is part of this legacy in the making. And don't miss what comes next, coming soon, straight from the Royal Archives. A story so intimate, so full of emotion, it may even leave you breathless. Stay tuned.